Good evening. This is All India Radio. I'm Naresh Mago and with me is Nipunika Shahid with the evening news. The headlines. Drug regulator DCGI clears COVID-19 vaccines from AstraZeneca and Bharat Biotech for restricted use in emergency situation. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says the approval will accelerate the road to a healthier and COVID-free nation. COVID-19 national recovery rate reaches 96.16%. Next round of talks between the central government and farmer unions to be held tomorrow. In Uttar Pradesh, 17 people killed in roof collapse of a crematorium in Muradnagar of Ghaziabad district. President and Prime Minister expressed condolences. And digital channels of Prasar Bharati across Doordarshan and Akashvani register more than 100% growth in 2020. As the nation fights the COVID-19 pandemic, we begin with a message of precaution to stay safe and protected by following these three simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, and focus on hand and face hygiene. Now the news. The Drugs Controller General of India, DCGI, has given approval for restricted use of 2 COVID-19 vaccines, Serum Institute of India's Covishield and Bharat Biotech's Covaxin, in emergency situation. The announcement for granting permission to these 2 vaccines was made by the Drug Controller General of India, V.G. Somani, during a press conference this morning.
The Subject Expert Committee of Central Drug Standard Control Organization met on 1st and 2nd January 2021 and made recommendations in respect of proposal for restricted emergency approval of COVID-19 virus vaccine of Serum Institute of India and Messrs. Bharat Biotech, as well as Phase 3 clinical trial of Messrs. Cadila Healthcare Limited.
Covishield has been developed at Serum Institute of India's Pune laboratory with a master seed from Oxford University and AstraZeneca. More from our New Delhi correspondent.
Mr. Somani said DCGI will never approve anything if there is slightest of safety concern. He said the vaccines are 100% safe. The DCGI said that the Serum Institute of India submitted safety, immunogenicity and efficacy data generated on 23,745 participants and the overall vaccine efficacy was found to be 70.42%. Further, the firm was granted permission to conduct Phase 2 and 3 clinical trials on 1,600 participants within the country. He said the firm also submitted the interim safety and immunogenicity data generated from this trial and the data was found comparable with the data from the overseas clinical studies. Mr. Somani said Bharat Biotech has developed a vaccine, Covaxin, in collaboration with the Indian Council of Medical Research, ICMR, and National Institute of Virology, Pune, from where they received the virus seed strains.
Messrs. Bharat Biotech has developed a whole virion inactivated coronavirus vaccine named Covaxin in collaboration with ICMR and National Institute of Virology, Pune, from where they received the virus seed strains. This vaccine is developed on ViroCell platform, which has well-established track record of safety and efficacy in the country and globally.
The DCGI said that the Phase 3 efficacy trial of Covaxin was initiated in India in 25,800 volunteers and till that 22,500 participants have been vaccinated across the country and the vaccine has found to be safe as per data available till date. He also informed that permission has also been granted to Cadila Healthcare for conduct of Phase 3 clinical trial which has developed Covaxin using DNA platform technology. He also said that the vaccines of Serum Institute of India and Bharat Biotech have to be administered in 2 doses and all the 3 vaccines including the vaccine of Cadila have to be stored at 2 to 8 degrees Celsius. Anand Kumar, AIR News, Delhi.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that the grant of approval by DCGI to the vaccines of Serum Institute of India and Bharat Biotech accelerates the road to a healthier and COVID-free nation. Congratulating the nation and the hard-working scientists and innovators of the country, Mr. Modi said in a tweet that it is a turning point to strengthen the spirited fight. He said it will make every Indian proud that the 2 vaccines that have been given emergency use approval are made in India. The Prime Minister said that this shows the eagerness of our scientific community to fulfill the dream of an Atmanirbhar Bharat, at the root of which lies care and compassion.
Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan today said that country's wait for COVID-19 vaccine is over, with Covishield and Covaxin getting approval for emergency use in India. In a tweet, Dr. Vardhan said that it is a watershed moment in India's famed battle against COVID-19 under the charismatic leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. He said these vaccines are a fitting tribute to country's corona warriors. He extended his heartfelt gratitude to all healthcare professionals and frontline workers for their exemplary efforts. He congratulated all scientists and researchers for their untiring efforts. The Health Minister said that it is now time to reap the benefits of the robust supply chain infrastructure the government has put in place for quick and equitable distribution of the vaccine. He also urged all citizens to entrust the stringent protocols followed for ensuring safety, efficacy and immunogenicity of the approved vaccines. Minister of Road Transport and Highways Nitin Gadkari today said that it is a proud moment of all of us that the two vaccines that were approved for emergency use are made in India. In a tweet, Mr. Gadkari congratulated Prime Minister Narendra Modi, under whose leadership country's scientists have achieved this in such short duration.
Soon after, the Drug Controller of India, DCGI, approved the emergency use of Covishield and Covaxin, the CEO and owner of Serum Institute of India, Adar Poonawalla, said that the vaccine will be rolled out in the coming weeks. Mr. Poonawalla said in a tweet that India's first COVID-19 vaccine, Covishield, is approved, safe, effective and ready to roll out in the coming weeks. He thanked Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Union Health Minister Dr. Harsh Vardhan, the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare and DCGI. Head of the COVID Task Force and Niti Aayog member Dr. V.K. Paul has said that the dry run of vaccination was important to ascertain the preparedness and operational functioning of COVID under actual circumstances.
Nationwide COVID-19 vaccination program is a huge exercise. Cold chain ramp-up has been going on now for several weeks. The IT platform, the CoWIN platform, has been evolving again for multiple weeks. Similarly, the guidelines of holding a vaccination session in a booth setting on a particular day, deciding on who all will perform what kind of task, how many people are needed, and how vaccine will be stored, how vaccine will be transported, how recording will be done, how people will be identified. So all this has been developing for some period of time. The guidelines are now available. The IT platform is available. Trainings have happened to a large extent. Vaccinators have been identified.
In Bihar, COVID vaccine will be given to 4,39,000 health workers in the first phase of vaccination. Health Minister Mangal Pandey said the state government had already taken the decision for free vaccination to all people of the state in a phased manner. Mr. Pandey said all the preparations have been done. First shots will be given to health workers and a database of government health workers has been prepared, while the private ones have been told to submit the list. Meanwhile, the COVID-19 recovery rate has improved to 97.75% in Bihar. 631 patients have recovered during the last 24 hours, while 282 new cases were reported. So far, 248,210 affected people have recovered in the state. Currently, 4,318 infected people are undergoing treatment at various hospitals in the state. The country's COVID-19 recovery rate has reached 96.16%. A total of 20,963 COVID patients recovered in the last 24 hours. According to Health Ministry, the total number of recoveries has gone up to 99,27,310. The actual caseload currently comprises only 2.39% of the total positive cases. Presently, the total number of active cases in the country is 2,47,220. In the 24-hour period, 18,177 new cases were reported, taking the total number of positive cases to over 1,3 lakh. Currently, India's case fatality rate is at 1.45%, which is one of the lowest globally. 217 deaths were reported since yesterday, taking the toll to 1,49,435. According to Indian Council of Medical Research, over 9,58,000 tests were conducted during the last 24 hours.
Nagaland reported one case of COVID-19 infection from Dimapur today. In a tweet, Health and Family Welfare Minister S. Pangyu informed that 9 affected people have also recovered. With this, the total number of recovered cases has increased to 11,542 in the state. The recovery rate has improved to 96.75%. The total number of confirmed COVID-19 cases in the state has reached 11,930, while 178 are active corona cases. So far, 69 people have died due to the infection, while 10 deaths are due to comorbid conditions and 131 affected people have migrated to other states. In Tripura, the number of COVID-19 active cases has reduced to 82. The recovery rate has also improved to 98.60% in the state. In the past 24 hours, 8 people have tested positive for the infection, while 14 people have recovered. The total number of affected people has reached 33,276. According to the state health bulletin, so far 32,786 corona patients have recovered in the state. The health bulletin also stated that over 5.81 lakh samples have been tested till yesterday evening.
Railway Minister Piyush Goyal has said that Kempegowda International Airport Halt Railway Station in Bengaluru, Karnataka is all set to serve travellers from tomorrow. In a tweet, Mr. Goyal said this will go a long way in enhancing last-mile connectivity to Bengaluru Airport. He said this will also benefit lakhs of people and reduce the traffic congestion drastically. You're listening to the evening news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Drug regulators DCGI clears COVID-19 vaccines from AstraZeneca and Bharat Biotech for restricted use in emergency situation. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says the approval will accelerate the road to a healthier and COVID-free nation. COVID-19 national recovery rate reaches 96.16%. Next round of talks between the central government and farmer unions to be held tomorrow. In Uttar Pradesh, 17 people killed in roof collapse of a crematorium in Muradnagar of Ghaziabad district. President and Prime Minister expressed condolences. And digital channels of Prasar Bharati across Doordarshan and Akashvani register more than 100% growth in 2020. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो कुछ वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे.
The next round of talks between the central government and farmer unions will be held in New Delhi tomorrow. The sixth round of talks was held on the 30th of last month. During the meeting, Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar had assured the farmer leaders that the government is committed to solving their problems and both sides need to take steps forward to arrive at an amicable solution. The Agriculture Minister said a consensus was reached on 2 out of 4 issues during the meeting. Mr. Tomar said the first issue was an ordinance related to the environment and the second was on the Electricity Act. The Agriculture Minister assured the farmer unions that MSP and the Mandi system will continue like before. The demand of the farmer unions for an MSP law and the difference between MSP and market rates for agricultural produce will be referred to a committee when it is constituted. On the union's demand for the repeal of farm laws, the Minister had said that this too can be referred to a committee which will study the constitutional validity and propriety, keeping in mind the welfare of farmers. Mr. Tomar had assured the farmers that the government has an open mind and is willing to resolve all issues with clear intentions. In Uttar Pradesh, at least 17 people were killed and several injured when the roof of a crematorium gallery collapsed in Muradnagar of Ghaziabad district today. According to police, some people were at the crematorium to perform the last rites of their relative when the mishap occurred. The NDRF team was immediately engaged in the rescue operation. Commissioner Mera Division Anita Meshram confirmed that 17 people were killed in the incident.
इस स्थान पे जो शेड टाइप का स्ट्रक्चर था उसके गिरने से वहाँ पे करीब 38-40 लोग थे. उसमें 38 लोगों को इवैक्यूएट करके यहाँ से निकाला गया है. उसमें 17 लोगों की डेथ अभी हो चुकी है और बाकी लोग का सबका इलाज चल रहा है अस्पताल में. और इसमें जांच करके जो भी दोषी हैं यथाशीघ्र इसमें उत्तरदायित्व निर्धारित करेंगे और विभागीय कार्रवाई या जो भी क्रिमिनल कार्रवाई की आवश्यकता पड़ेगी तो उसमें पूरी कठोर से कठोर कार्रवाई की जाएगी.
President Ramnath Kovind and Prime Minister Narendra Modi have expressed grief over the incident. In a tweet, Mr. Kovind prayed for the early recovery of the injured. He said the local administration is working for relief and assistance. Prime Minister Modi said the state government is engaged in relief work. He expressed his condolences to the relatives of those who lost their lives in this incident and wished for early recovery of the injured. Expressing sorrow on the incident, Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath announced financial assistance of 2 lakh rupees each to the nearest kin of each deceased.
जिलाधिकारी और वरिष्ठ पुलिस अधीक्षक गाजियाबाद से स्पष्ट कर दिया है कि राहत कार्य में घायलों को तत्काल उपचार कराने के साथ ही इस पूरी घटना की रिपोर्ट वे तत्काल प्रदेश शासन को उपलब्ध करवा दें, जिससे इस दुखद घटना के पीछे के कारणों को जाना जा सके। और राज्य सरकार सभी पीड़ित परिवारों के साथ पूरी मजबूती के साथ खड़ी है। हर संभव सहायता उन पीड़ित परिवार वालों को राज्य सरकार करेगी।
Governor Anandiben Patel has also expressed sorrow on the incident. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh in a tweet expressed his condolences to the families of those killed. He also prayed for the early recovery of the injured.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will deliver the inaugural address at the National Meteorology Conclave tomorrow through video conferencing. He will also dedicate National Atomic Timescale and Bharatiya Nirdeshak Dravya to the nation and lay the foundation stone of the National Environmental Standards Laboratory. Union Minister Dr. Harshvardhan will also be present on the occasion. National Meteorology Conclave 2021 is being organized by Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, National Physical Laboratory, CSIR NPL, New Delhi, which is entering into its 75th year of inception. The theme of the conclave is Meteorology for the Inclusive Growth of the Nation. The Shivraj Singh Chauhan-led Madhya Pradesh cabinet was expanded today with the induction of 2 cabinet ministers, Tulsi Ram Silawat and Govind Singh Rajput. More from our Bhopal correspondent.
Governor Anandiben Patel administered the oath of office to Tulsi Ram Silawat and Govind Singh Rajput. Both Tulsi Silawat and Govind Singh Rajput had been inducted into the cabinet in April last year during its first expansion. However, they had to step down in October on technical grounds, as the mandatory 6-month period to get elected to the state assembly got over for them after the COVID-19 pandemic delayed the bypolls. Both of them make a comeback to the cabinet. In the assembly bypolls held on November, the BJP had won 19 out of the 28 seats, while the opposition Congress had bagged 9 seats. Silawat and Rajput won from Saver and Surkhi constituency respectively in the bypoll. This is the third expansion of the state cabinet after Shivraj Singh Chauhan took over as the chief minister for the 4th term in March 2020. Pooja Pivardhan, AIR News, Bhopal.
In 2020, the digital channels of Prasar Bharati across Doordarshan and Akashvani have registered more than 100% growth, clocking over 1 billion digital views and over 6 billion digital watch minutes. In a statement, the Information and Broadcasting Ministry said during 2020, the News on AIR app added more than 25 lakh users, with the platform registering over 300 million views, with live radio streaming featuring over 200 streams being the most popular feature. DD Sports and Akashvani Sports have created a steady digital following with live commentary. Prasar Bharati Archives and DD Kisan have been steady digital performers featuring in top 10. Underscoring the substantial digital audience for news from the Northeast, Northeast Service of All India Radio News is also in the top 10 and incidentally has crossed the 100,000 subscriber digital milestone. Interestingly, during 2020, Pakistan accounts for the second highest digital audience for DD and AIR content after domestic audience from within India, with the United States close behind. Bangladesh has expressed happiness over the UN resolution on Rohingyas adopted at the 75th General Assembly on Thursday. Commenting on the resolution today, Foreign Minister of Bangladesh Dr. A.K. Abdul Momin said that Dhaka sees it as a diplomatic success. The resolution was passed with 132 countries voting in favor of it and 9 countries, including Russia and China, opposing it. 26 countries, including India and Japan, abstained from voting on the resolution. Currently, more than 1 million Rohingyas are living in refugee camps in Bangladesh after fleeing the military crackdown in the Rakhine province of Myanmar in August 2017.
UN nuclear watchdog International Atomic Energy Agency has revealed that Iran plans to enrich uranium to up to 20% purity at Fodo fuel enrichment plant. It would take Iran's nuclear enrichment program to pre-2015 levels when it entered the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action with the P5+1 countries. Iran was prohibited enrichment at the Fodo facility until 2031. It also committed to converting the Undergo facility into a nuclear physics and technology center. The move is at the latest in a series of announcements by Iran to the IAEA that it plans to further breach the deal. The move is being seen in retaliation for Washington's withdrawal from the agreement and the reimposition of U.S. sanctions against Tehran. The Central GST Delhi West Commissionerate has unearthed evasion of GST by way of manufacture and clandestine supply of gutka, pan masala and tobacco products without any registration and payment of duty. Around 65 labourers were found working at the illegal factory when search was conducted. The finished product of gutka is being supplied to various states in the country. Finance Ministry said the searches resulted in seizure of finished gutka and raw materials valued at over 4 crore rupees. The total duty evasion is estimated to be around 831 crore rupees. One person has been arrested in the matter.
The News Services Division brings glimpses of the year that was in our special series, Year Ended 2020. The COVID-19 pandemic has been the biggest story of the year, and India has seen the fight back against the COVID-19 pandemic under the dynamic leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. A report from our correspondent on the initiatives taken by the government for promoting the Fit India and Khelo India movement in the country.
Fit India and Khelo India have become a national movement today which carried the people of the country on a path of fitness and wellness. These initiatives have provided a unique platform for building a necessary ecosystem for making a healthier India. The Prime Minister Narendra Modi has urged the people to make fitness their lifestyle by adopting the mantra Fitness ki dose आधा घंटा रोज.
इस मंत्र में सभी का स्वास्थ्य, सभी का सुख छिपा हुआ है. फिर चाहे योग हो या बैडमिंटन हो, टेनिस हो या फुटबॉल हो, कराटे हो या कबड्डी, जो भी आपको पसंद आए, कम से कम 30 मिनट रोज कीजिए. साथियों, आज दुनिया भर में फिटनेस को लेकर जागरूकता है.
It is said that fitness not only changes your body, it changes your mind, your attitude and your mood. With these objectives, Fit India movement was launched in 2019 and within a year this has turned into a people's movement. Fit India and Khelo India initiatives have created awareness and enthusiasm about health and fitness across the country. These initiatives have proved their relevance during the COVID-19 period when people adopted a healthy lifestyle and strongly fought against the coronavirus. Bhupendra Singh, AIR News, Delhi.
Talking to AIR News, Kargil War veteran and India's first Blade Runner Major DP Singh said that fitness should be an integral part of everyone's life.
Fit India movement is a very important movement launched by Government of India because Prime Minister साहब ने खुद अपने example को set करते हुए दिखाया. I am sure this is going to help out each one of us. There are various hidden jewels जो कि sports में बहुत अव्वल कर सकते हैं. तो आई एम श्योर खेलो इंडिया और फिट इंडिया का जो अमेलगमेशन हो रहा है, इससे ना सिर्फ फिटनेस और हेल्थ फैल रही है, बल्कि यंग ब्लड जिसमें वो जज्बा है, जुनून है देश के लिए कुछ करने का, उसको यूज करके देश के लिए मेडल जीतने की जो एक प्रवृत्ति है, जो एक तरीका है, वो फुलफिल होगा और सक्सेस हमारे को मिलेगी.
Union Minister of State for Power, Independent Charge R.K. Singh has said that electricity is a fundamental requirement for every development work and the previous governments of Jammu and Kashmir are responsible for the power sector's worst condition in the Union Territory. AIR Jammu correspondent reports that the minister said this while attending a function in Jammu today. Mr. Singh said that before 2014, India was in deficit in the power sector, but now things have changed under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Addressing the gathering, the MOS in PMO, Dr. Jitendra Singh said that the Narendra Modi government is fully committed to equal development of all the regions. He said that the recent DDC elections were held smoothly, which is a big achievement.
70 साल के बाद पहली बार जिला परिषदों का गठन हुआ, सफल चुनाव हुआ कि शायद ये पहली बार एक ऐसा चुनाव था जहां ना कोई हिंसा हुई, ना कोई दुर्घटना हुई और इतना भारी मात्रा में मतदान. वरना संसद और विधानसभा के चुनावों में भी विशेषकर घाटी में 10-15% से अधिक अपेक्षा नहीं रहती थी और उससे बड़ी संतुष्टि भी हो जाती थी. इस बार बढ़ चढ़ के घाटी में भी 50-50, 60-60% मतदान होना.
International Film Festival of India, IFFI, will open on 16 January with the Indian premiere of the movie Another Round by Thomas Vinterberg. The movie, starring Cannes Best Actor Award winner Mads Mikkelsen, is among a star-studded line of a movie being showcased at IFFI. The movie is also Denmark's official entry to the Oscars. The festival will also witness the world premiere of Mehrunissa. The film by Sandeep Kumar will premiere mid-fest. The festival will close on 24th January with the Indian premiere of the historical drama Wife of a Spy by Kiyoshi Kurosawa. 51st FE is being organized in a hybrid mode from 16th to 24th January in Goa. Maharashtra led the nation today in paying tributes to the daughter of the soil Savitribai Phule on her 190th birth anniversary. Savitribai, one of the greatest social reformers of all times, is credited with having pioneered women education in India. A range of activities were organized to celebrate Savitri Utsav declared by the government of Maharashtra to mark her birth anniversary.
The inferno, which has been raging at the picturesque Zuku Valley since 29 December last year, is now under control. The Divisional Forest Officer, Kohima Rajkumar M., said a big teamwork was in action to prevent the spread of fire in the valley. He said ground operations were carried out by Nagaland Police, Forest Department, NDRF, SDRF and SIO volunteers. In the Bambi Bucket operations, the Indian Air Force also deployed 4 Mi-17 helicopters from Dimapur and Rangapahar towards dousing the fire in the valley. The IAF choppers today dropped 24,000 litres of water with 12 shuttles. The IAF mission will resume tomorrow. Several parts of Delhi and adjoining areas received moderate to heavy rainfall along with thunderstorm this morning. The India Meteorological Department had earlier predicted thunderstorm with light to moderate rainfall over some parts of South Delhi and some districts of Haryana. Both the maximum and minimum temperatures are expected to rise further over the next 2 days, with the IMD forecasting light to moderate showers tomorrow. Due to the rain, the air quality is likely to remain largely in the moderate category from tomorrow onwards.
Moderate to heavy snowfall engulfed Kashmir and higher reaches of Ladakh while rains lashed the Jammu division today. The Met Office has forecast widespread snowfall in many areas of the valley today and tomorrow, with heavy snowfall at isolated places. In Himachal Pradesh, the state weather department has issued warning of heavy rain and snowfall at isolated places of high and mid-hill during the next 2 days. The State Meteorological Centre in Shimla forecast rain in the plains and lower hills till January 5th, while rain snowfall in middle and higher hills of the state till January 6th. Meanwhile, the higher reaches in the state received fresh snowfall, whereas some other parts witnessed light rain today.
Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow. The national capital will have a thunderstorm with hail. The city will observe a minimum temperature of around 10 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 19 degrees. Mumbai is likely to have a partly cloudy sky. The temperature will hover between 18 and 29 degrees Celsius. Chennai will have a generally cloudy sky with light rain or drizzle. The temperature will vary between 24 and 29 degrees Celsius. In Kolkata, there will be fog or mist in the morning and a mainly clear sky later. The city is likely to observe minimum temperature of 14 degrees and a maximum of 27 degrees Celsius. Srinagar will have rain or snow. Temperature will hover between -1 degree Celsius and 3 degrees. Jammu is likely to have a thunderstorm with rain. The minimum temperature will be around 9 and maximum around 10 degrees Celsius. Leh will have a partly cloudy sky and the minimum temperature there will be around -13 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around -3 degrees. Gilgit will have a generally cloudy sky. The minimum temperature will hover between -4 degrees to 8 degrees Celsius. Muzaffarabad will have a generally cloudy sky with light rain and the temperature will move between 2 and 15 degrees Celsius. Dehradun is expected to observe a minimum temperature of 9 and a maximum of 17 degrees Celsius. Chandigarh will have a generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers, and the temperature is likely to hover between 12 and 16 degrees Celsius. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Drug regulator DCGI clears COVID-19 vaccines from AstraZeneca and Bharat Biotech for restricted use in emergency situation. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says the approval will accelerate the road to a healthier and COVID-free nation. COVID-19 national recovery rate reaches 96.16%. Next round of talks between central government and farmer unions to be held tomorrow. In Uttar Pradesh, 17 people killed in roof collapse of a crematorium in Muradnagar of Ghaziabad district. President and Prime Minister expressed condolences. And digital channels of Prasar Bharati across Doordarshan and Akashvani register more than 100% growth in 2020. And with that, we end the evening news. Good night.